Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel Cloud Journey. In this video, we'll explore Docker port forwarding techniques and make them accessible from our local machine either through localhost, specific IP address or random ports. One tip I will give before starting the demo. So if we see a small dash p, so it means we'll manually map host and container ports. And if we give uppercase P, so it will automatically map container ports to a random high ports. So let's begin. So if we give the command IP address local tag, so this will print. Here we'll see some networking concept. So here you can see the first one is loopback interface 127.0.0.1. So it means it will only accessible inside the machine if we run the container using this network. And if you see bring down, and here you can see 192.168.49. So this is custom bridge network. And if you see one topper zero, yeah, this one. If you see this 172.17.0.1, so this is Docker default bridge network. So mainly used for internally by Docker to connect containers. So let's begin our the main concept. So I'll clear screen and see the different port mapping techniques. Now we'll start with simple command like if we give docker container run dash itd and we provide a small p and with the host port 8000 and with container port 80 and we provide pass the http pd. So basically this will map port 80 inside the container to 8000 on your local machine. So if we run this and you'll see docker, give the command docker ps test docker ps only give to see the running container. So you can see our container gets started and it's listening on port 80. So if you want to curl, give the command curl http colon dash dash local host colon 8000. So basically it's a Apache server. It's by default using on port 80. So if we press enter, so here you can say it works. You can also check on your browser. Will provide the command like I will show you in the browser. If we go http localhost 8. So I will share my screen. It's on another screen. So here you can see it's work. Now we'll remove this container docker container. First we'll stop this stop and give the container ID or name. Control C paste. Then we'll remove. First, you have to stop the container and then you have to remove. Now, we'll see another scenario. So, as earlier I saw you like if what in if we want to use from external interface, like we don't want to anyone to access from the outside. So if we give the command docker container run dash itd dash name nginx container, this time I'm using nginx server, give the name nginx container and dash p for port, and will pass the loopback interface for loop 127.0.0.1 colon 8000 and the container port 80, and give the image name nginx, not name like image nginx image we are using. So if we run this command, so in this case what happened, like application not available for any external interface. So instead it made available on the loop back interface which we have provided 127.0.0.1. So you can curl this one also using curl, and here you put pass http colon and the loopback id ip 127.0.0.1 colon 8000. So press enter. Oh, typing mistake. So here you can see Nginx server is installed successfully. You can also check in the browser using the http command. I will I will show you in the browser also. It's working. So we control V. So here you can see welcome to Nginx. Now, so this is the second scenario. Now we'll see third one. So clear the screen. Control L. So in this case we'll use capital P. So suppose we want to run mysql container, docker container run dash itd dash name, give the container name mysql container and provide key and with the mysql password for environment mysql mysql underscore root password equal to provide anything my pass. I'll give my pass PASS and give the image name mysql. So here you can see, oh, I forgot to add P, capital P. Dash capital P. So it means it will expose the ports on random high ports of your host machine. So it will automatically map container ports to a random available ports on your local machine. So let's pass it, press enter. Or we have to log in into our Docker login dash new, maybe your Docker account. So now we'll run the command again and press enter. It's already logging. My path, my password, my path image, mysql, press enter. So it's started. There is some command error. So if we check the image, control, first I will clear the screen and Docker PS. So here you can see it's get the host port 32772 and the by default SQL use the port 3306, exposes port 3306. So here you can see we use the third scenario using capital P. So if you want to log in also you can log in this. We'll log in later. First we'll curl this. So first we'll log in. You can use the command mysql dash h if you want to see 127.0.0.1 dash capital P. You provide the 32772 dash u root dash P. This will ask for password. My yes. So here you can see we are logging inside our MySQL. So you can be show data PSS see we are logging in and we are going to see the databases. So now we'll click. Now we'll see our last scenario. First I will remove the image engines, Docker images, and Docker PS. So we'll remove the first image container, sorry, Docker container stop and give the ID or image name you can Nginx container. Now we'll remove this container. So it's get removed. Now we'll see the last scenario, like if first I will clear screen. If we pass the command docker run dash itd dash name, I will take again nginx container, nginx container, and will only pass the small dash and the host container port 80, not container port, the host port, and give the nginx. So what will happen? So in this case, we are not specifying the container port. Docker automatically assign a random host port to the container port 80. So see what happens. So Docker PS, you can see it's up and it's got the host port 6004,362. So you can curl on this curl http colon dash dash localhost colon give the 63342 and host port. Press enter. Oh, we have provided the wrong one. 64362. So here you can see the Linux welcome page is here. So in this way you can test different scenario how we can do the port mapping. So that's all from this video and see you in the next.